What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 8th day of January, and here we are sitting at just under 1 cent. About 7 hours and 15 minutes left in the day. We're down about 7.4%, and I don't care. I don't care that we're down 7.4% because we're on top of the mountain right now, and we're consolidating. We're probably ready to go higher. I don't care because Bitcoin, over the past few days, has actually moved lower. We've actually seen lower prices than what we had on the 3rd of January, where OnyxCoin, by contrast, from the 3rd is just up dramatically. Like, we're way up. So a little bit of volatility, pulling back. I mean, we're down how much from the high right now? From the high, we're down 26%. We've seen an overall pullback of about 32%. I think that's more than adequate of a range to consolidate in before we continue to rally. And maybe we continue to rally today. Maybe we continue, with 7 hours left, that's a lot of time. We can definitely pump 7% or more in 7 hours. But it is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. We have the weekend upon us. We just made a very nice move, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we consolidated here for a little bit and then we make our move further higher. But again, I don't know. I could see us pulling back to touch prior resistance for support back here at like 0.007. I could see us pulling back further, getting a deeper retracement, but still providing a higher low overall and finding support there. Any of that could happen. It's just not what I'm expecting. But when I say I could see it, I'm not saying that as in I think this is what's going to happen. I just mean like it's possible. I accept it as a possibility. But really what I think is going to happen here, what I'm alluding to is I really just think that this is part of a move that has not completed yet. I think that we are going to continue to move higher. That's my expectation. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it stops here. If it doesn't stop here, the question then is, where does it stop? Because this seemed like a very obvious stopping point. From down here, I would have told you, no ands, ifs, or buts, that we do stop here. We'll probably consolidate for a little while, and then we'll move up. Where right now, the readings that I'm getting on the charts are saying that, I mean, while we might consolidate for a very brief period, a few days, maybe a few weeks at the most, we likely do push on higher. We're likely not going to consolidate for a month or longer here, like I had originally thought down here. So if we're going to move up, where's the next area that we would move up to? That was the question that I left off with. And from here, you've got these wicking points of resistance, closing price for support. We take the high to the low. Relatively speaking, that's the golden ratio zone. I mean, there's a lot of rationality there. I think here, at these closing resistance points, at this wicking high point here, at the next levels, instead of the 786 or the 61869, we go to the 786 886 area, and this line is right there smack dab in the middle. I think it's time, as crazy as it might sound, to start considering prices around 2 cents, guys. We actually might see a 2 cent OnyxCoin by the end of January. And think about what that means. Right? If OnyxCoin was here or higher, the average person who has bought and held, right, because there's very small amounts of time up here and above, the amount of time above this line is very minimal compared to the amount of time below this line. Basically, anybody who's been investing in OnyxCoin, DCAing, doing it the right way, you're in the green. There's no way to fault that there. We might see, because of that, we might see a little bit more selling pressure. We might see some consolidation. We might see a longer period of time, and then we start to break out, and then we get the real big move, maybe in later February or March, something like that. But I do expect here, potentially by the end of January, for us to be up at 2 cents. If not then sometime in early to mid-February. It's pretty exciting stuff, considering that we were literally at our low point about 1 week ago at about $0.004. When we do move up, whenever we do progress higher to 2 cents, at that point it becomes pretty obvious that we're going to see a higher high relative to this. Right? We get to 2 cents, that's about 100% growth from here. It's obvious at that point that we're probably going to take out this high. When we take out that high, the next target area is anywhere from 10 cents to 22 cents. And even sitting on top of this massive move that we've had over the past couple weeks here, over the past week really, we still have 10x potential to as high as 24x potential. I mean, how crazy is that? You're late to the party. From a low point to the point that we're at now, it's up 2.3x, and you still have 10 to 23x potential. Isn't that crazy? I feel like that's crazy. This thing, even whenever it's doing well, it still provides intense opportunities, right? And the opportunity is still there, even at 2 cents. Imagine you don't get on board this train. You're like, no, it's going to pull back, and then it's 2 cents that you get in. We consolidate for a little while. Still, from 2 cents, it's about a 5x. It's a 4.7x to around an 11x move. Still immense gains in a very short amount of time when it happens. The 1 hour time frame here, zooming way in, then we'll zoom out. Again, I think we had a really bearish setup here. It really did look like a head and shoulders pattern. The volume was all there, and we didn't go down. We've seen this kind of behavior before from OnyxCoin, and typically what happens is you will get like one stab down like that. Might even go below this low, but so what? Maybe we find support down here. That's fine. We can, understand guys, we can break out of this structure and still not go that far below this low at all, and then recover from there. So don't, if you're watching OnyxCoin, if you're charting it and you're doing lines like this and you're saying, okay, we're bullish as long as we're above this line, don't think of it like that, because I would say OnyxCoin has been deceitful in moments like this. We've seen this happen before where it will drop down and then afterwards then it'll pump. Those pumps never lasted, but I'm just saying we've seen this kind of trickery happen before. Don't be swayed by it. 1 hour time frame with these indicators here. The RSI is in a neutral posturing right now, but overall widely bullish. Obviously, it's bullish. The stochastics are bullish here, and the MACD is also bullish here. So I mean, we've really got reasons to bounce from here, not break down. Just because I was saying watch for this doesn't mean that it's going to happen. I mean, we could just bounce from here. That's not necessarily a call. That's just more of a precaution. The call is that we're going to move up, right? That's the call. The call is that this is not the high, is that this is not the end of the move. That's the call. That's what the whole video has been about this whole time. 4 hour stochastics bouncing right off the oversold zone. You kidding me? You guys see it? Do you see the difference, the transition? Let's spell it out for you, right? You're bearish. You're doing terrible. Look at how you're living in the oversold zone. Look at how when you get to the overbought zone, you're rejecting it. And of course, you're in these terrible, bearish, boring times, right? You're really moving down. It's not just sideways, but you're actually moving down. And what happens? You're bearish. You're living in the oversold zone. You reject the overbought zone immediately and you come down. You reject the overbought zone immediately and you come down. My, how the turntables have turned, right? We've got this nice little pennant pattern here. Beautiful. We're at maturity with this pennant pattern, actually. It's less obvious on the 1 hour, but it's a little bit more obvious on the 4 hour there. Now we're getting overbought. We're living in the overbought zone. Now we're rejecting the oversold zone. Do you see how it's the exact opposite? It's that simple. You can be, as a technical analyst, you can be good at identifying uptrends from learning how to identify downtrends. Because they're the exact opposite. Of course they are. And uptrends are a little bit different. Uptrends typically end with a bang, typically. Downtrends typically end with long, boring sideways. It's not the same, but still, similarities in the readings nonetheless. This is bullish. That's all I'm trying to say. This is very bullish. Absurdly bullish. We look so good right here. The RSI, you already know my theory with this. These are not standalone moments. They come with more and more and more. They come with more. These are your standalone moments. These little wicks to the upside. These are your standalone moments. But a reading this deep, it comes with more. If we're going to get into the overbought zone again, and this is the relative strength index, relative, we're going to show relatively strong moves that get us up to the 90, that get us up to the 80, whatever it is. I can only imagine that we could literally move up this exact same amount from here, or more, or slightly smaller, but something comparable nonetheless. I'm thinking we get a bigger move. I don't know about you guys. I bet we get a bigger freaking move, man. We'll see. Wouldn't it be great if we went all the way up to 3 cents? The MACD is bullish. There's nothing really to go off of with the MACD. It's bullish overall, though. But it's crossed red. That doesn't mean it's bearish. That just means we're in a consolidation phase right now. That's it. In fact, it's crossed red, the MACD. It's so red. We haven't seen this low of a histogram reading since October 10th on the MACD. And that's all you got. The bears are trying just as hard here as they were back here. And here you had a flash crash. Here you're just consolidating. After a pump too, you have reasons to pull back and you're not doing it. You're providing a lot of bearish momentum and getting very minimal results. Yeah, you're going to the upside. When the bullish momentum comes back, if the bearish momentum building as strong as it has in months can only hold you up, then when the bullish momentum comes in, the bears just have no chance, man. They're not going to hold you up at all. Daily time frame, the RSI is pretty overbought. But again, these are not standalone moments. How many times do we make it to the 90 and then we do this kind of behavior where we come up and then we just come down? That doesn't happen. You come up to the 90, you get multiple readings. You come up this high, you get multiple readings. It's these little rejections off the overbought zone. These are the standalones. But something like this, there's more to come. Stick that in your back pocket for later if you're ever doing technical analysis. Okay? And again, specifically when you get above the 90. This one here, you're at 83. It's not uncommon for things like this to not be standalone either, but it's very uncommon for anything to get above the 90 and for that to be a standalone moment. This was a standalone moment right here. You didn't have more after that. You rejected your overbought zone. This will not be standalone. When I'm saying standalone, again, I'm referring to like moments like this, not moments like this. Do you see how that doesn't stand alone? There's more coming. That doesn't stand alone there. There's more coming. There wasn't just a single high by itself and then you came down like you did right here. You see what I'm saying? We've got more to come. Think of it. If you're hearing the words, but you're like, okay, what does that mean? Who cares? Like I understand there's more to come, but like, what should I expect based off of that? Here, let's put it in perspective, okay? Here, you got really overbought. You're at a 90, what? You're at like a 96. You came down and then you came back up. This little come up right here, that little divot right there up, resulted in a move that from a low to a high was something like a 6x, just under a 6x. In what? How many days was that? That was like less than a week. That was like a week. Right? Do you see that? How this was like half of the move? It's like you like replicated that same move from the low. I'm just saying, guys, we could genuinely, if this is what we've seen so far from here with the RSI, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw that exact same amount. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we did run up to 3 cents from here. We're talking about 2 cents being the next target. Maybe we're not bullish enough. Let's look at the high to low. Golden ratio is at 1.9 to 2.2 cents. I personally doubt that we break through this on the first attempt. Personally. But it can happen. 2 cents, 2.2 cents, 1.9 cents. This area provides strong resistance. There's a lot of resistance here based in price action and even back here and support as well. But if we are so bullish that we break through the golden ratio on the first attempt, which statistically speaking, there's like a 20% chance that happens. Maybe even like a 15% chance that happens. If we do, then 2.9 cents to 3.7 cents becomes the target area. Curious to see what happens. We'll see. I'd be stoked if we were at 2.9 cents by the end of January. That would be insane, man. That'd be insane. I've got nothing else to say. I think in reality, we'll be at 1.9 to 2.2 cents, somewhere like that, over the coming weeks. If not by the end of January, then very early February. And it's just the beginning, my friends. We've got so much to go. We've got so much to go. Oh, my goodness. From the current price of $0.0096, the target area that we are thinking of is anywhere from about a 112x. I'm sorry. 120x, effectively. 120x. To potentially something on the lines of like a, I don't know if we get as high as 278x. I don't think we get that high. I would think something maybe just above $2. Let's just say, yeah, like 220, whatever, something like that. Something between like a 220x and a 120x. It's a big range, but that's what I think we're going to see by the end of the cycle. And if you're not on board with it, OnyxCoin is still a scam to you. You're not on board with it, that's fine. Guess what? You could buy at the high of this cycle so far, right there at 4.9 cents, and still get a 24 to a 50x return on this thing. So you can be late to the party and still do what the average altcoin's going to do. Don't you worry. There's plenty of opportunity here. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Drink some water. If you're grumpy, if you're in a bad mood, get some sleep. If your joints hurt and you're getting headaches, drink some water. Your mouth is dry, drink some water. If you're stressed out and everything is upsetting you all at once, all the time, come to Colorado. We have special herbs for that. Hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.